Good morning, students. Today we will discuss the properties of the locus of center of spherical curvature. So, the first property is prove that tangent to C1. Here, C1 is the locus of center of spherical curvature. So, tangent to C1 means T1 cap. We have to prove that tangent to C1 is parallel to B cap. B cap is binormal for the original curve C. So we have to prove that T1 cap is parallel to B cap. So in order to prove that T1 cap is parallel to B cap, let us write the position vector of the center of spherical curvature corresponding to the position vector R of the point on the original curve. Yesterday we have derived the position vector of center of spherical curvature, and it is given by vector R1 is equal to vector R plus rho into n cap plus sigma rho dash into b cap. Now differentiating with respect to S1. Here the derivative of vector R1 is dR1 by ds1. The derivative of vector R is R dash. Here by using product rule, rho as it is, derivative of n cap plus n cap as it is, derivative of rho, plus here we have three functions, so we can use product rule. Firstly, we have done the derivative of sigma with respect to s, rho dash and b cap as it is, then plus sigma and b cap as it is, the derivative of rho dash, plus sigma and rho dash as it is, the derivative of vector b cap. This whole derivative is with respect to s, then the derivative of s with respect to s1. Now, by definition, the derivative of vector r1 with respect to s1 is the tangent to c1, which is denoted by t1 cap, and r dash is denoted by t cap. By Sarrett-Freund formula, derivative of n cap is tau b minus kt. We have substituted the values here and combining the terms in b cap here, we get the value of t1 cap. Now again, by using these properties, that curvature and radius of curvature, they are reciprocal of each other, so rho into k, that will be 1. Similarly, torsion and radius of torsion, they are perpendicular to each other, so their product is also 1. So using the values here, we get t1 cap is equal to rho by sigma plus sigma dash rho dash plus sigma into rho double dash into b cap into ds by ds1. Thus we can see that the vector t1 is some multiple of the vector b cap. Thus we can say that the tangent to c1 is parallel to b cap. So this is the first property of locus of center of spherical curvature. Now let us discuss the second property. Now the second property is principal normal to c1. Principal normal to c1 means n1 cap is parallel to n cap, where n cap is the principal normal to curve C. So in order to prove this, in the first property we have derived the value of t1 cap. Now squaring both sides. Now t1 cap is unit vector, so its square will be 1. t1 cap dot t1 cap, that is 1. Here the square of this expression and square of this expression. B cap is unit vector, so b cap dot b cap, that will be 1. So from here we can find the value of ds1 by ds. So shifting it on the left hand side, from here ds1 by ds whole square is equal to this expression. Now taking square root on both sides, we get the value of ds1 by ds from here. Now this is the product or derivative of product of sigma and rho dash. So we can write it in the form of the derivative of product. It can be written as rho by sigma plus sigma rho dash whole dash. So in this way we have obtained the value of ds by ds1. Now substituting this value in the equation 1, from there we have t1 cap is equal to b cap. Now let us differentiate this equation with respect to s1. So differentiating with respect to s1, derivative of t1 cap is d by ds1 of t1 cap, derivative of b cap is db cap by ds into ds by ds1. Now by again Sarrett-Freund formula, this is given by k1 into n1 cap. This is also by Sarrett-Freund formula minus tau into n cap. So we can see from here that n1 cap is some multiple of n cap. So we can say that principal normal to the curve C1 is parallel to the principal normal to the curve C. This is the second property. Now let us prove the third property. The third property is binormal to C1. Binormal to C1 is denoted by B1 cap. We have to prove that B1 cap is parallel to the tangent to the curve C. So we have to prove these are parallel. So in order to prove this, let us continue from the previous property where we have obtained the value of K1 N1 cap. So that is in the equation 4. So squaring the equation 4, we get K1 square is equal to tau square into ds by ds1 whole square. So from here we can find the value of ds by ds1, which is K1 by tau. From here K1 is tau into ds by ds1. Now substituting this value back in the equation 4, from there we get N1 cap is equal to N cap. Thus we can say that N1 cap is opposite to N cap. Now taking the cross product of the equation 3 and equation 6. In the equation 3 on the left hand side we have T1 cap. So T1 cap cross N1 cap is equal to B cap cross minus N cap. Now the cross product of these two vectors, that is B1 cap and B cap cross N cap, is minus T cap. So we have obtained this value. Thus we have proved that the binormal to C1, that is parallel to the tangent to C. So this is the third property. Next we prove the fourth property. The fourth property is the product of curvatures at the corresponding points is equal to product of torsions. Now let us find the torsion for the curve C1. So in order to find the torsion, we can differentiate the binormal vector to the curve C1, which we have obtained in the equation 7. So differentiating this equation with respect to S1. So derivative of B1 cap is given by d by ds1 of B1 cap. Derivative of T cap is T cap dash into ds by ds1. Now by Sarrett-Freund formula, its value is minus tau 1 into N1 cap. And by again Sarrett-Freund formula, the derivative of T cap with respect to S, that is K into N cap. So we have substituted the value. Now N1 cap is equal to minus N cap. So using here we get the value of the torsion for the curve C1. So we have obtained the value of tau 1 from here. Now substituting the value of ds by ds1, we get tau 1 is equal to K1. Tau and K are the torsion and curvature corresponding to the curve C, and tau 1 and K1 are corresponding to C1. So we have proved the product of torsions is equal to the product of curvatures. So this is the fourth property. Now next is the property 5. Property 5 is curvature of C is constant, then curvature K1 of C1 is also constant. Now it is given that the curvature of C is constant. Curvature is constant, so its reciprocal is also constant. It means rho is constant. Rho is constant, so its derivatives with respect to S, those will be 0. So rho dash is 0, and the second derivative of rho, that is also 0. Now we can substitute these values in the equation 2. So finally equation 2 becomes ds1 by ds is equal to rho by sigma. Now ds1 by ds was tau by K1. This is equal to rho by sigma. So now what is rho? Rho is 1 by K. K is the curvature, and 1 upon sigma, that is the torsion. So we have substituted the value here. Tau is cancelled with tau. So after cross multiplication from here, we get K1 is equal to K. Now because K is constant, so K1 is also constant. Thus we can conclude that if the curvature of the curve C is constant, then the curvature of C1 is also constant. So these are the properties of locus of center of spherical curvature. Thank you.